Hello.
Hi.
My name's Shelby. I'm a beauty
Maggie.
dietitian working with you today. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Staying warm out there. It's pretty chilly
Yeah.
outside.
Yes.
I've been hoping for a white Christmas this year, but I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to get started today. The way that this session is going to work is we're going to kind of highlight what you came in here for. We're going to go over some of the paperwork that you filled out prior to you coming. And then we're going to talk about some of the patterns that I see in the paperwork that you filled out. And then we're going to work together to create some reasonable goals that we can accomplish throughout a period of time. And then kind of see how we feel from there and decide if we want to meet again to talk about anything else.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Okay. So I want to start by just asking you a little bit about what your life looks like right now, with your schedule, nutrition-wise, food. What does that look like for you?
Right. So I am currently student teaching, which means I am very busy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll usually wake up at like 6 a.m. and all I have is like a coffee in the morning. Then I'm running around until about noon, and then I'll eat a little bit for lunch. But then I won't eat anything until 8 o'clock because that's when I finally get home and I'm done with everything. So.
Do you find that around 8 p.m. You're really hungry just because you haven't eaten?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're starving. Okay. Coffee is a great way to kickstart your morning, just to wake up a little bit. Do you ever have like fruits or vegetables in the morning, like some orange or anything like that?
Occasionally I'll throw like a clementine into my bag as I'm leaving, and I'll have it at some point in the morning, but
okay,
not a lot.
Very cool. So highlighting some of the stuff in your paperwork, I see that you have come in today because you would like to talk a little bit about improving eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that just would mean the time management with working with the students, and then also eating. So, and then as well as learning to manage weight. So we can get started with that. I want to look at the eating behavior journal that I had you fill out prior to coming. So this is just something that you said that this is what you would eat on a regular day. So like you said, around 6:30 you would have a coffee or something. And yeah, I do see large gaps in between your day, lunch around noon, and then maybe another coffee in the afternoon. But until 8 p.m., it really doesn't look like you're eating, like you said. So I see that you, from your chart, that you really enjoy, carbs, pastas, breads. I do too. It's normal. That's the good stuff, mashed potatoes and things. But it does look like all of your calories are being consumed, or the majority of your calories in your day are being consumed from 8 p.m. to around 11. And that's just a little bit concerning because a lot of times when you eat, the food that you are taking in is being converted to energy to be used. And if you're eating and then going to bed, that energy is not being used up. And your body can store that, it can be stored as energy, like energy sources for later, or it can be stored as fat if you do continue to eat that late at night, large amounts. So that can be detrimental when you're eating that late at night. That fat storage is kind of what we're looking at there. So what does the consistency of the meals that you're cooking at home look like? Like, are you using a lot of carbohydrates? Like, what do you...
I typically have a bag of frozen chicken breasts that I just keep in the freezer, and I'll make that a lot. I'll make a lot of pasta. Sometimes I'll try to mix vegetables into the pasta.
Okay.
Bread, sandwiches. That's pretty typical. Mashed potatoes. Make a lot of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Some rice sometimes.
It's great that you are focusing on chicken. How do you cook your chicken usually?
Either on the stovetop or in the oven, depending on what I'm feeling.
Okay, very good. A lot of times chicken is a better option than red meat, so it's excellent to see that you've already kind of switched over and done something with that. Are you choosing whole grain options for your pastas?
Sometimes, but it depends.
Yeah. Do you find that whole grain versus non-whole grain tastes different to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up eating whole grain, or is that?
I did grow up eating whole grain.
You did?
I did.
Okay, very cool. Well, that's good that you've already been introduced to something like that. So that's excellent that you can do that. And it sounds like you are mixing vegetables and things into your pasta, incorporating, vegetables and protein and carbohydrates really is what you need to be doing. What does your consumption of fruit look like?
I'll try to eat at least a little bit of fruit each day.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in the morning we talked about how I'll have a clementine or something.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have them after dinner too, or with dinner. Or sometimes I'll eat one during lunch.
Yeah. I think the important thing with weight management is creating that balance in your food and that portion control that we talked about. So it sounds like that you have a well-balanced diet, which is excellent. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Go ahead and turn that off. Just another client. I'll be back to that. Anyway, that's excellent that you really do have that balanced diet. Do you have a lot of physical activity in your everyday life?
I have been trying to get better about working out. I feel like for the past 2 weeks I've been on a better schedule, but in the past I did struggle. But now I've tried to make it a part of my day.
Mm-hmm. I feel like in the winter it's especially important to get that
And again,
exercise.
it delays my eating to even later because I try to work out before dinner.
And I'm sure after you get done working out that you're even hungrier than you were before. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. So what I'm hearing is that you're just very stressed out. You have a lot going on during your day between managing students and coming home, working out, trying to cook meals. It just seems like you're on the go a lot, which, that's life, and that's just the way it is sometimes. But don't get too down about it because it's something that everyone goes through. So just learning to manage those processes and eating habits. And it does sound like you're doing a really good job with the actual consistency of your meals. So keep that up. We could offer an option of doing like a food journal or a food diary. I know I did have you fill out a behavioral form, a food behavior form. We could do that again at some point to see, to really analyze your macro and micronutrient consumption, if that's something that you were interested in. And then we could meet again and talk about that at a later date too. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. You're particularly stressed out during the day and you just feel like you're going and going and going.
Absolutely.
Pretty stressed. Yeah. A lot of times we see people either overeating because of stress or not eating enough because of stress. So it just sounds like because there is so much going on that you're just not consuming that food during your day. So I do actually have a handout to give you for tips for reducing stress, so you can take a look at that. And then before we go, I want to set some goals with you about nutrition-related things. So we can talk about preparing meals. Do you have a kitchen at home, stove?
I do.
You do? Do you enjoy cooking?
I do.
You like to cook? So one thing that we can think about is maybe making larger meals at night, like when you get home or something, and then storing them in a container and taking that for lunch in the afternoon rather than just having, some like popcorn or something like you would normally do. You can have a full meal and, you'd be eating the same thing, but at least you would be consuming more calories during the afternoon rather than waiting all day and consuming them just at nighttime. Does that sound like something you would be interested in?
I can do that.
Okay. Another thing that I thought that we could think about was healthy eating snacks that are on the go. So things that you could pack or put together during your, nights when you get home or something that you can grab and go that you can keep in your desks or, right on hand in your purse if you do get hungry while you're student teaching, if the kids are in gym or something like that, PE, that you can just have a little snack for yourself. On your way out, I will actually give you a handout of that too that has a bunch of examples of healthy eating snacks. Some of them can include granola bars, which are like wide varieties. You can do a bunch of different granola bars, really whatever you're interested in, whether it's peanut butter, chocolate. You can do cheese sticks, like mozzarella sticks. You could do yogurt. Yogurt has a lot of probiotics in it, which is great for gut health. Just simple things like that. Carrots and ranch, things that'll tide you over and allow you to space out your food consumption during the day so you're not consuming all of that at night around 8 p.m. Does that make sense? And then like we talked about with the food cooking preparation during dinner, you can pack that for lunch and have that as well. So that's another thing that we could do for goals. Do these sound like something that you would be able to figure out? And I will be giving you that handout at the end that you can use that for. Do you feel like you're in a place in your life that you would be ready to start making the changes to, like?
Yeah.
I think that with your schedule, you are very busy, which is great. But being versatile and trying to incorporate that nutrition into your schedule is pretty important. Do you have any questions for me? I see that you did mark sudden weight change, but I'm assuming that that's just been since you've been student teaching, kind of. Is that like the last year or so? Okay, I think you mentioned that earlier in here too. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all that I have for you today. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything I needed to know.
Okay, great. It was really nice meeting you. We can schedule another appointment to check back in and see how you're doing. If things aren't working out for you, we can go over more specific ways, to balance your meals. But yeah, it was nice meeting you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to give you one more thing. I actually have made up a meal plan for you, like it's on a typical day.
Okay.
Kind of like a healthy option meal plan with those healthy snacks that we did discuss. So I did plan it out according to your agenda. So starting in the morning around 6:30ish, I decided that, that would be, right, that's the time that you would typically eat, that I saw last time. So I said having an orange or a cutie, like you had mentioned previously, that you like, that's a really great source of vitamin C. So we can incorporate that into your diet. I'm not going to take your coffee away from you because I know that's important. I get that. And then around 10 o'clock, we're going to see like some carrots or celery with ranch or peanut butter or something like that. Just like a healthy snack in that direction. Around noon, you would be eating one of those meals that we had discussed prior that you had made the night before. So something like that, so you get a substantial meal in there. And then as you're driving home, you can have another snack, whether that's trail mix. That's a great option. Trail mix. The great thing about trail mix is that you can customize it to exactly what you want. So if you're, a peanut person, all the peanuts, walnuts, whatever you're interested in. I'm not a fan of raisins, so when I make trail mix, there are no raisins. But and then going just throughout your day, eating those little snacks, and then around 8, it looks like you would get home and start to relax and everything. Focus on making a balanced meal that's large enough for you to bring the next day. But the important thing here is portion control, that you are eating just the right amount of food for that meal rather than consistently eating and eating all that food that you made and not bringing it for the next day. Just maybe packaging it up early. Dessert, by all means, go for it because I know how that is too. And then heading to bed and waking up the next day and maybe just like substituting some new options in there. Does that sound like something you would be interested in doing? Perfect. I did try to incorporate some things from your questionnaire that you enjoyed in there, like the cuties. I know that you said mashed potatoes and pasta and things like that. I also see that you are a peanut butter fan, so granola bars are a good option if you like peanut butter. Celery with peanut butter is also a really good option for things like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, you could do something like that. So I will actually give you this as a model, and then you can take a look at that, and we can go from there. Okay. Thank you so much.